WIRA members, it's fantastic to see you. This is our first event for Women in Recruitment Asia. Really exciting. My name is Andrea Ross. I'm the founder of WIRA and the training and coaching company, The Career Establishment. Now, it's been a pretty rough 2 years, hasn't it? It's been pretty rough. And I really did see a need to create a group that would inspire and develop female recruiters across Asia. And I wanted to provide services such as mentoring, development programs, events like these, networking opportunities, and also some free resources that get refreshed constantly, so you can keep sort of, finding it all in one place. Now, we have an opportunity to create a community in Asia where we can all share ideas, we can meet other recruiters, which is kind of never really done before, that we can really impact the recruitment industry for the better. But I can't do it alone. It's just little old me, yeah? So I want to thank you all company members for joining here today. But I also want to put a bit of a spotlight on all the guys that have joined the session today. Standing beside a female recruiter and supporting her to be successful in whatever role she has or aspires to achieve, and providing opportunities for her to work at her best, has to be commended. So for all those guys, I see lots of guys in the room. We've got Michael, James, we've got Gary, we've got Paul, Mark, Matthew. I looked at the list of everyone that turned up today that were guys. I want to say thank you. Can you just pat yourselves on the back? Go on, give yourself a good pat. Oh, hi, Matthew, you're there. Give yourself a big pat. Woohoo, well done. We can't do this without you. So I want to really encourage you to come to all these events. Now, while I've got your full attention, which is not going to be the best gallery pick right now if everyone turns their camera off, I want to get a picture of everybody just while we've got everyone in the room and making the most of this. So can everyone hit a gallery view and turn your cameras on for 1 second? Oh, it's happening. It's happening. Yay. Thank you. Let's keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Turn those cameras on. Gallery view, turn the camera on. Liz, Louis, Rocky, Celine, Alex, Nisha, Celine, Angeline, Twinkle. Fantastic name. Okay, we're almost there. I recognize a lot of faces. Hi, everyone. Keep those cameras on. Just a few more. Yay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Keep going, keep going. Okay, I want everyone to give me their biggest smile. I'm going to do a countdown from 5, and then we're going to take a great picture to really remember this moment when we started something new, okay? So I'm going to count down. I'm hoping it's going to put pressure on the people that haven't put their cameras on. I'm going to do a 5, 4, get ready, 3, 2, get those smiles ready, 1, smile. Yay! Well done. Thank you for everyone putting their cameras on. Right, okay. I want to now do some housekeeping. It'll only take a couple of minutes. I'm going to share my screen. Bear with me. Hopefully everyone can see that. I want to go over just briefly what the events are coming up. What I again got you in my listening to me. We have got an external provider called Harry Marshall that is providing events on the 18th of June. Just to let you know, he's ex-agency and is a qualified coach and trainer. And he is awesome. So please check out on the WIRA page for him. I'm doing a WIRA drop-in. It's a bit of an odd name, isn't it? You can just literally drop in virtually, throw me some recruitment challenges or questions, and I will do my best to answer them. There might be free templates for you. So I would just say, get on there, sign up, register. The next event we have coming up in July for our next key event is Jane Chu from Connexus, which I'm so excited to let you loose on her, and we'll have another guest speaker. So that is something to register and check out on our website. Now, to make sure we get the most of this event, this isn't just a matter of you guys just sort of sitting there and listening. We are going to get you involved. And so I want everyone to get familiar with the chat function, because I appreciate you probably might use Teams or Google Meet and stuff like that. That's me looking a little bit sad there. I don't know why. I'm concentrating on that picture. So can everyone try and find the chat function for me? Yeah, at the bottom of your screen, click it. And I want you to type something in there. I'm going to ask you a question. Type in as many foods as you can think of that begin with the letter C. Yeah? Off you go. I'm going to start. Oh, someone beat me to it. Damn it. Someone beat me with the carrot. Okay, I can see that everyone's getting it. Any more chicken nuggets? Brilliant. Lovely, perfect, awesome, well done everyone. It looks like everyone can use the chat function. Do use that. I want it to be interactive. Don't do it maybe when it's the keynote, or yeah, you can do it in the keynote speaking. Use it as much as you can, because we will be monitoring that, and you might want to put your questions in there that you're thinking of when the keynote speakers come in. Okay, so let me just go over the agenda and then we're ready to rock and roll. So we've done the introduction, tick. I'm going to be introducing you to Fiona Mak, who's the MD for Technology and Ambition Hong Kong, in a moment. You're then going to have a guest keynote speaker of Patricia, that's the SVP Sales and Marketing for Charterhouse Singapore. Then, this is the groundbreaking bit, we're going to do a bit of networking. We're going to break you out into a few breakout rooms, and do not leave, because we have the Q&A afterwards where you can ask questions to your keynote speakers. So you really want to stay around for that. And then we'll have a bit of a feedback session. Okay, so let me stop share. Okay, I am absolutely delighted to introduce you to Fiona Mak. She's the Managing Director for Ambition Technology Services. She's based in Hong Kong. Fiona's been in the recruitment industry for over 15 years, even though she doesn't look it. She still looks like a little spring chicken. And not only as a high biller herself, she runs one of the most profitable businesses in Ambition within the region. She's constantly featured on top of the league board. In 2020, she was the top revenue generator. She juggles billing and managing, and the big one, probably the most important one, also motherhood. She's known as the queen of tech in the recruitment industry. So remember what I said at the beginning. I really want you to be present, to be engaged, and be interactive in this session. So if you think of some questions, just throw it into the chat. Fiona, I'm absolutely delighted to have you as a keynote. I'm going to throw over to you, and good luck with your presentation.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Fiona. Very, very, very happy and flattered to be here. I would like to first off share a little bit more background about myself, and also a picture of my two boys. I just got to put it in there. So I was born in Hong Kong and raised in Toronto. And I've been in, again, technology recruitment for 15 years. I previously worked at Michael Page, Talent 2, Robert Half, and now with Ambition. And I am very proud to say that I'm a working mom. I've got two boys. One is 5 years old and one is 18 months old. Now today, I'm going to share some maybe tips from myself on how to get to the top. For me, I think it's very easy. It's really driven by three main things, and I've listed it out here. It's passion, prioritization, and resilience. Now, this is the most important one for me. And one thing that I love to do is to read a lot, look at YouTubes on the famous people, read a lot on biographies of successful people. And this is one word that always comes out from them, which is passion. I got a quote, actually, I shared it with my team of, oh, what should I talk about today? And one of my team members actually shared this with me. This is a quote by Winston Churchill. Success is the ability to go from one failure to another with no less of enthusiasm. Sorry, my typo there. So being a recruiter is hard. People tend to underestimate the stress and the competitiveness that involves in our line of work. Like all things in life, I think how to keep going when you face an obstacle and how you get up from your fall is very, very important. Tough times in our industry is definitely inevitable. We will have candidate dropouts. They sign your contracts and then took a counter offer, and then they start in your job. You thought you've placed them, but they left during, the guarantee period. They said okay for you to send their profiles to the roles, but then they ghost on you. The disappointment list goes on and on and on. But how you handle these times actually will mold your future. In my 16 years of recruitment life, all the top billers that maintained at the top are the ones who always have a passion in what they do. They are motivated when they place a role that's been in the market for over 6 months. You see them jumping up and down with motivation again to get a placement after 16 rounds of interviews. And they are the most motivated when they get a placement after the client have rejected 20 profiles for these roles. Now, passion really will drive you. And when you're motivated, people do feel it. It becomes an inspiration. And when you're excited about what you do, it is very important that you will have the ability to influence, and therefore everything will be possible. Now, second thing that I would like to highlight that really helped me, and I have actually learned along my 15, 16 years of recruitment life, it's learning how to prioritize. Our industry is heavily driven by the market. So in order to keep everything in control, it's very, very hard, especially when we're dealing with human beings. And now I think by prioritizing and knowing how to time manage will help a lot in keeping things in control. Now, so you need to be prioritizing everything you do. So I would, sorry to say that it might be, sound a bit not very nice, but be selfish with your time. So I would have a few points to actually, highlight what actually helped me when I'm doing my job. Tackle easy to fill jobs quickly. Identify the A jobs. Don't work on jobs that will take a lot of your time and you know that the clients aren't really sure whether or not they want to hire. So find the A jobs. And how do you find A jobs? Basically just, send CVs. And if your client responds right away with interviews, then definitely is an A job. So focus on that job, send as many CVs as you can. Second, don't let the hard to fill jobs take up all your time. So if you've tried those jobs and they took a long time to interview or to progress, then put it aside. Don't waste your time. Set time for follow-ups. And that is very, very, very key. Utilize your calendars. Follow-up is very, very important. You've spent, hours and hours of time come up with a short list. The most important thing that you need to do is to follow up with your client. Pick up the phone and follow up on the short list, on the CVs that you send and talk about them. Because 99.9%, I'll tell you, you will be able to actually land an interview right after. 4, maintain good relationships with your clients and place candidates. One of the key that I think in my job, in my 16 years of life, in recruitment life, is to stay good relationship with your top clients and stay very closely, especially your placed candidates. I have, I used to work with a boss that's been in the recruitment industry for over 20 years. He only had 10 clients and no more than 20 candidates in his whole entire career. All you see him do is basically just circulate the 20 candidates. Well, obviously he's senior, right? So he's my boss. So he actually focuses on very senior roles, and those are clients and candidates. And all he does all day you see him is basically just catching up with those 30 odd people that he knows. And every 2 years, you see him placing them into another bank, another company, and that's how he makes money. So that, I'm not asking you all to just, talk to 20 limited candidates, but what I'm trying to say is keep the good ones. Stay very close with the placed ones because you will definitely be able to place them again. Now, the third thing that really helped me a lot is resilience. Maybe I can utilize the chat room a little bit here. Can anyone, share with me who your favorite athlete or someone, as an athlete that actually shows you what resilience really means? Can everyone, give me some names? I can show mine here. Mine, first of all, I have to put a woman in there. It's Serena Williams. And the second person is my all-time, favorite, Michael Jordan. Let me see if I can see the chat room and see who you're. I'm not seeing the chat. Oh, I can see it now. Oh, Rafael for Jillian. Dan Lin for Ron. Oh, yeah, you're into badminton. Of course, I know. Nicole David, Kobe Bryant. Yep, definitely the Black Mamba. Yes, so a lot of the times, have you ever wondered why some of the hiring managers always likes to ask candidates during interviews on what their extracurriculums are? They tend to like to hire people who love to play sports. Again, I have to mention an ex-boss that I had. I remember he hired a national gymnast into his team. And he is now progressed into one of the MDs of a very large recruitment firm. And one of the key traits that he has demonstrated, I think it also stemmed from him being, a gymnast and athlete, is the tenacity and also the resilience that he has. He never gives up. So the reason behind this, well, obviously, when people who are good at sports, they're normally like, not generalizing, but they're good team players. And if they're good in one sport, they have to, you have to train yourself with resilience. So never be afraid of rejections and setbacks, because once you overcome it, it will become the greatest reward that you'll ever have. Now, lastly, yeah, so here, Mr. Michael Jordan, if you quit once, it becomes a habit. Never quit. This is my motto. I always keep it in my own, I cannot, okay, there you go. So now, to sum up, my suggestions and summarizing the whole 16 years of my career as a recruiter and how to maintain at the top, my motto is be authentic, be different, and be the best. The reason of being authentic is show your genuine, your realistic side of you, because if you're worthy of trust and people rely on you and people believe in you, that goes a long way. Be different. And I think it goes with all the sales people. Be different is a key, because it's very important for sales to be remembered. You want your customers, you want your clients, you want your candidates to remember you. I want to remember Fiona because she's different. And also, most importantly, because she is the best. Provide extraordinary service and quality profiles to your clients and will make you stand out. And provide good career advice to your candidates will differentiate you from other recruiters. And that is very, very key. And don't rely on luck. I hear a lot of recruiters that come and say, oh, I'm being unlucky, I lost this deal. Come on, it's really never about luck. It's really about what you do. So luck is never sustainable. Remember that. Now, I genuinely believe that being able to achieve the above that I shared will bring you, most importantly, the reputation. And this is the key to our job. Thank you. And this is my sharing for today.
You so much. You're amazing. Thank you. And thank you for engaging everyone on that as well. We have about 60 people in the room right now. So I'm so glad that you all tuned in and were able to have that time with Fiona, because that was really special. I've got loads of takeaways from that. Now, I would love to introduce you to our next guest speaker, which is Patricia Tan, SVP Sales and Marketing, Digital and Technology Division for Southeast Asia and China for Charterhouse Partnership, based here in Singapore. I know we've got lots and lots of Charterhouse people in the audience today, so that's awesome. Now, Patricia was one of the top billers at Robert Walters, so I worked with her closely. So when I say she was at the top of the league board, she really was, and she was always up there. God damn it, she was always up there. She moved on to Charterhouse and is still one of the highest billers. And the reason I want to mention how that is such an achievement, same with Fiona, is to juggle billing and managing a large team, as well as being a mother, a new mum to baby Maya, is really a huge achievement. So I really want to, I'm absolutely delighted to have her as a keynote speaker. And she's also probably one of the most humblest people that you will ever meet. So I'm going to introduce you now and hand the reins over to Patricia. Good luck, Patricia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Andrew, for having me, to be here and to be with everyone. I know it's lunchtime for everyone, and I promise I'll do my best not to bore you guys. A little bit about myself, frankly, is that recruitment kind of became a career by chance, really, and I'm just really grateful, and I'm still in it. And I agree with what Fiona says, it's actually passion. But there's one thing, Andrea, when Andrea invited me for this event, and she kept asking me, Patricia, share about your motivation. And I'm like, what motivation? She's like, talk about your motivation. And I kind of dig deeper into how I started in recruitment and why I'm still here. And the truth is, when I was looking for a job in Australia upon graduation, and the recruiter actually told me, Patricia, have you thought about doing recruitment? I'm like, what is this? What is recruitment? And just HR? She was like, no, actually recruitment is sales. And the truth is, you get to determine how much rewards just based on your hard work, your determination, and all that. And it kind of got me thinking, if there's a role where I could actually control how much earnings, for a year, for a quarter, I thought hell yes, I don't want to be determined by just because of my certificate, and I don't want to work myself to bone only to find out that my salary is the same as the rest. And to me, I want something that I can pack against hard work, against time and putting in. And frankly, everyone here in this room, I have to say, you guys are here for a reason, and I definitely think recruitment is really, really fulfilling. And I know people who has left may not necessarily think so, but I still love it, because I believe that recruitment really can make a difference. And whether or not, you see that as just a transactional sales role, but the truth is, I make a lot of great friendships along the way. And you know what? And I just hope that, you guys enjoy recruitment. I know it's tough, guys, especially in the last 2 years. Recruitment hasn't been tougher, right? And I myself feel so. I mean, even having to be in recruitment for so many years, and last 2 years was difficult. But you know what? It's only the last 2 years made me realize, let's go back to the core. What are the important tips to continue to be a good recruiter? Not just being the best or being the top 5, but is being, you reckon that, the achievement you set for yourself, that you reckon, what, I'm grateful that I hit these milestones. And I told my team all the time, and I want to share that with everyone as well, is that being a recruiter, not necessarily you have to be the top, but I think it's important to be a consistent biller. It's not about a sprint, but I think it's a marathon in recruitment. Let's pace yourself. Don't get burnt out. I've seen a lot of people getting burnt out, and in fact, I took how many sabbatical? I don't think my boss would be happy, with that. But I'm grateful that he allowed me. But that's because I burnt out twice in my career, and I hope that I don't want anyone in my team or out there burn out at some point. So, okay, today again, I'm going to share some tips and hacks, but again, these are not the only tips. These are just, for me, I classify them as one of the few things that's important. And I do really want everyone to be engaging with me throughout this session. Guys, like I say, I'm so nervous here. I'm actually looking at so many names pop up, but it would be great, if you guys kind of engage with me in the chat function. Talk to me, guys, because I'm like just staring at some names and small faces, but we really appreciate talk to me and all that. So let's get started. Sorry, I went on a bit too long, my introduction. Thank you, Julian. Okay, let me start with this. If you don't mind, I'm just going to show some slides, some pointers, but my face will pop out once in a while. I just want to get you guys to see my face and make sure that I'm still here, not just staring at a PowerPoint. So here we go. Okay, see everything. That's good. Slideshow. Okay, let's talk about the first one. Relationship. Building relationship is key. Oh, sorry. Oh God, I don't know why it went here, but I was trying to look for the chat function. But anyway, guys, for those who you think that you have good relationship with your clients, can I see a smiley face in the chat function that you reckon you have very positive relationship with your clients? Can I see a smiley face? And for those who you reckon that is an area that you're weak in, please share with me as well. Give me a sad face. I want to see. Look, like I say, it's not good or bad. I just want to get a sense of the audience and what you guys are thinking. Good, thank you. Keep it coming. John, I don't know what sign is that. It's not a smiley or a sad, but yep. Okay, good. Well, the fact that is that, those with smiley faces, great, right? That keep up the good work. Those that, who are not sure about, the relationship area, but it's fine. I think at the end of the day, to me, is that's why we are here for, right? To learn from one another. And one thing I have to say, being an extrovert not necessarily build positive relationship. The reason why I don't bring this up is because I think a lot of people tend to say, oh, Patricia, because I'm not an extrovert, I don't know how to build relationship with with clients or candidates. And the truth is, it's not the case, guys. Is that, to me, building a positive relationship actually have a few elements underneath. And the one thing I truly believe, and I think my team out there, they know every day I advocate this, is transparency. Okay, the key to build a positive relationship is being transparent. to your clients, to your candidates. So being transparent is that it's not about, how do I say, like, okay, let's start with candidates, for example. When was the last time you actually being transparent to your candidate that, you know what, that they are not suitable, they're actually not good enough for the role? How would you have communicated that across to your client, to your candidates? A lot of times is, and I'm guilty of it, I ghosted on my candidates. You know, I truly use the word ghosted because at times I just didn't know how to, because sometimes I just don't want to deal with delivering bad news. And I truly believe over the last, I got 14, 15 years, I believe delivering bad news may not necessarily be not a good thing. In fact, candidates appreciate you being honest, appreciate you being transparent. And I'm all about transparency, right? And being with my candidates, good news, bad news, how many candidates and all that. And to me is, I like that because that's where I feel the biggest foundation is. They don't want you to tell them what 10 or 20 other recruiters or salespeople who just want to close the deal by the same thing, right? Being authentic, like what Fiona mentioned earlier. And I believe so. And I think that's important, being transparent. And secondly is the mode of communications. And I think building a positive relationship and long-lasting relationship with your candidates is that sometimes don't take the shortcut way by replying an email to your candidate that, guess what, thank you for your time for attending the interview, you're not shortlisted, period, and send it through. I know it's time consuming, but guys, I truly believe that when you pick up the phone to talk to your candidate, that to me is another point of relationship that you're building. And relationship takes time, right, to build over time. But if you can make sure that you can try to advocate transparency and being very, taking the time to talk to them and listen to them, I feel is important. And I want to bring a very quick example here, hope I don't overrun, is that when the candidate finishes an interview, whether it's first round or second round, how many of you out there actually just write a message to say, hey, how was the interview? If candidates say, yeah, you went all right, and then you just went, okay, that's good, let me follow up and come back to you. To me, that is an easy and sort of like a shortcut to do. But the truth is, and I'm guilty of it sometimes as well because I'm so busy, at times when client was like, oh, Patricia, guess what? I'm interested in your candidate. And then you went, oh my God, this is the candidate I want. Let's give her a call. And to realize he or she ghosted on you, to realize that technically after, the truth is after first round or second round, they have actually gone on advanced stages with another company. But because you didn't pick up the phone to find out what really happening in their world, or really speaking with them, having that one-on-one chat, you lose the touch. And that's really, really, really important. And I think my team out there knows, I always ask, did you ask the candidate XYZ? When was the last time you talked to them? Not via WhatsApp, not via email, you actually talk to them. And I think that is really important, yeah. And I hope that you guys try to, you know, I know we are all time poor here, but trust me, it is important. Same for clients. How would you deliver a bad news to client that, you know, the reputation is bad in the market, you know, things like that? Do you actually tell your clients that? And how do you deliver that? To me, is if you can overcome that hurdle of being transparent through a good rapport, of course, through a very good professional tone and all that, the relationships actually built positively from there, because clients actually appreciate your candor. It's actually going there to tell them that, look, this is happening. I talked to 10 candidates, guess what? 8 out of 10 are not keen. Work with me so we can go out there and be the best ambassador for you. And this always worked for me. And I hope that you guys, you know, find this useful. Yeah, so next point, what's happening? Okay, data monetization. I came up with this, data monetization, thinking that that's important tips because I believe that top billers know their market. You know, how well do you really know your markets, right? Take a pause on this pointer, guys. I really want you guys to think back I really want you guys to just, I'm just going to want you guys to just look at me. Okay. Hi, are you guys still here? I hope so. So data monetization is really, really important. And I'm going to ask you guys this. Take a pause, sit back, go through your job list very quickly. Ask yourself, how well do you know each job structure, reporting line, and why did the previous incumbent leave? If you can't answer all that, I hate to say this, I don't think you know the role, or you have done enough to find out actually on this. I think a lot of times, when I ask my team sometimes, who does the role report into? How does the team works with XYZ other team? And how big is the team? What the current incumbent, why did he or she leave, and all that. And to me, those are very, very important information. And if you don't have those information, it's okay, because you need to find out, right? And that's where I feel to stay ahead of the crowd, it's essential to know all these happenings in your space. And you know what? And the more you know, the more credible you become, guys. And I truly believe if you are just like taking a job brief, you know, just sending your CV, and the truth is, I'm sure some of you have realized that there are times where a candidate actually tell you, Patricia, do you know that role have 4 people in the role in the last 12 months? Do you know about that? Or do you know the previous person left because this boss is a horrible person to work with? You know, information like that. And I truly believe that having this information would help. And the only way you get this information, guys, is to talk to people. You know, what I say earlier, building relationship is one. After building relationship, you get all the information, but use it to your discretion, of course. I don't expect, you know, recruiters going out there started, you know, talking about things that you're not supposed to. But truth is, you must know, you know, those down to the details of, is this person, what kind of job specification, you know, why, because all this information would help you better grasp a role specification. And I hope, are you guys still with me? I see some faces. Yeah, can I see a nod? Okay, great. Yeah, because sometimes I think information to me is, and I want to bring this up, this very good example recently that I have, even after 15, 16 years, you know, and I realized that those information still plays a very important part in my screening process. I was speaking to a candidate recently about a role that I was working on, and that candidate was actually telling me about, Patricia, how much do you know about the role? And I was very upfront. I say, the truth is, I don't know much. It's a new company, but I know this is the CEO. And they came to me and said, Patricia, are you aware that they are currently being backed by, for example, your Temasek, your GIC, yada, yada. All this information, I went, oh, okay, you know what? I don't know. And to me, you can easily just brush it through and say, oh, okay, that's great. Are you interested in the role? I'm just telling you, this is the role, this is the reporting line. But I like to, again, build that relationship based on that and start talking and saying that, what do you think of this role? And people will tell me, Patricia, this company, this business model is not going to work because their XYZ companies has already failed doing so. What makes you think this business is going to work? And to me is, that's a very fair point. And having those information, if you have a second or third candidate coming to you with the same pointers, you know how to react to that, right? And I think you need to be informative. And I think the fundamental of this point, data monetization, is that every single day when you go out to talk to people, all the information, it's crucial. You know, you need to keep it. You need to make sure you use those information to help you better screening at your profiles. Yeah, I hope this helps. Okay, am I running time? I'm not, right? Running out of time. Okay, the third one, control. When I say control, I don't mean explicit control, right? We're really referring to the ability to get clients and candidates to do something without directly having them to do so. Candidate control is actually the toughest. I think all of us here have candidate rejection. Unfortunately, this is the truth. We are all managing our clients and candidates, and a lot of time decisions are made based on emotions. And there's that much we can do as a recruiter. At the end of the day, we can't have 100% control on the outcome. We can't. We are not. We're not God. We can't. But the truth is, we can do our best to ensure that we check out all the lists, to do our best to ensure that we reach the outcome that we all wish for. But we can't be 100%. But it's fine if you don't know 100%, but you should know your candidate very, very well. And I want to put it up, focusing more about candidates is, candidates are king these days, right? In the talent shortage market. I want to talk about how do you maintaining control. And the truth is, guys, you will not be able to control your candidate without having what I just mentioned, the first and second pointers. If you don't have the relationship being built with your candidates, guess what? They're not going to tell you everything. They're not going to tell you the true motivation, why they're interviewing, or what are they looking for? Why do they like about the role? What do they not like about the role? So if you don't have the relationship, you won't be able to have the data. You won't have the data. You won't be able to maintain control over process. That's the truth. Okay. And I think a lot of us, have guilty of, getting offer rejected because candidate actually telling you that, oh, you know what? I actually don't like the hiring manager. I don't have the rapport from the beginning. But we don't know that because they didn't tell you and you didn't bother asking and probing. Again, I want to talk about probing is because a lot of us don't do that. I think a lot of us actually didn't want to ask. And I said that recently to in one of the training is that we all don't want to find out bad news. We don't want to know whether or not, we're a candidate not like about the role. We like to hear positive things because the truth is we want to kind of like mop it under the carpet just so that, we don't see it. We don't want to know, right? And because a lot of candidates will tell you, yeah, Patricia, interview went okay. I'm happy. Yeah, it's all right. The role is okay. But that's all. But when candidates tell you the role is okay, the role is all right, you should be worried. What is okay? What is all right? Dive deeper, talk to them, really find out. If your candidate is actually not very interested after a first few rounds, it's important for you to say, you know what, let's pull the plug, and thank you, Christy. Knowledge is power. Absolutely, right? You will only know the information, the knowledge by building the rapport and talking to them. And I want to say this example recently, don't mind me, one example, I want to bring it up is that I have a candidate went for 2 rounds interview recently. After 2 rounds, he actually told me, Patricia, it's okay, thank you. I don't think I'm keen on the role. And I went, oh my God, what happened? I thought it's all good. Client's very keen on you. And he said, no, it's fine. I don't believe in them. So yeah, thank you very much. And we just go past. And I think the truth is because I know him well enough and I wanted him to open up to me. So that's when that I told him, it's really probing and understanding. Let's go back to the core. Let's go back to your core motivation. Let's go back why you're looking out. Why do you like about the role? Why do you not like about the role? So that's when the advisory hat comes in, right? And I think not just about closing the role, let's focus about the middle funnel piece before we talk about just closing the role, because the only way is your candidate very well, you find out what the true motivation, what the true concern, then you can maintain control. Because if you don't know what their concern, you won't be able to manage control. I know I'm running out of time. Okay, let me just quickly go back to sharing screen. Okay, fourth. Okay, time and calendar management. And I know Fiona has mentioned that earlier. It's the same thing for me as well. Everyone out there, if you look at your calendar in the next 2 weeks, how packed are they? How much activities are actually being, arranged morning, afternoon, and dinner? The truth is, I think my boss will agree with me, is that every single month before COVID, my expenses is the highest in the entire company. Not because I keep spending on unnecessary coffee or chats or everything else. The truth is, every single day, if you look at my calendar, my lunch is packed with clients or candidates' lunch. And I try to do one coffee in the morning and in the afternoon as well. And I can very sure say a lot of us out there don't do that diligently. We don't plan our calendar. And I spy on my team's calendar sometimes just to make fun of them. The truth is, I say, well, your calendar looks pretty busy, but the truth is the calendar is empty. So because we don't diligently put things. And to me, I always plan ahead, 2 weeks ahead, what is in my calendar. I get very nervous if my calendar has nothing, no activities, because I know eventually we're all about pipeline. Yeah. Last point is concise targets. Short-term, mid-term, long-term. For all of you out there, can I strongly suggest, have a vision board, because I have a vision board and I used to create vision board for my team as well. Our force them have vision board. And what's vision board? I always have my short-term target, mid-term target, and long-term target. We are all on quarter, some companies yearly, we're all on quarter target, right? Instead of just looking at, what am I going to achieve this year? I want to achieve 500,000. I want to achieve 1 million. The truth is, having that 1 year is hard for you to keep track. Why don't you have a small little short-term target? What is this month? What is my target that I set for this month? Just based on my job list, right? Try not to be too unrealistic, because when you're unrealistic, you get demotivated, right? And I think it's important, set concise target and really looking at short-term, mid-term, and long-term, and have vision board. I'm very grateful for companies that I've worked with before, Robert Walters in the past and Charterhouse. Every single year, beginning of the year, we are being told that in order to hit a certain target, you get to go to this country, that country. We have been to South Africa, we've been to Tokyo, we've been to Las Vegas, South Africa, I've mentioned South America, we've been to Brazil. So all these amazing places. And guess what? I actually printed out, even to today, I printed out and put it right in front of me. And that to me helps to motivate, because I truly believe law of attraction. No offense to all those religions, I'm also religions, but it's just that law of attraction, I believe, is that when you set all these small targets, you work backward, it will bring you a different outcome eventually. That's just how I function, and I do hope that you guys do that. If it's not work related, it's fine. I like to look at a handbag. In the past, when I used to be a lot more motivated by handbags, I'll put a handbag that I really like on my mobile phone as a screensaver. This is what I really want. But guess what? Now I no longer have that. And yeah, so I wanted a baby then. I used to have a baby picture on my phone's screensaver. But you know what? It works. And it may not work to the timeline you want to, but that actually helps you, to have all this positivity manifest. And frankly, right now, I'm also feeling a little bit like, oh God, what's next for me? And I'm starting to having vision board to say, okay, what do I want to achieve? I want to have a size of team that's 10 people, 15 people, 20 people. How do I work towards that? And I truly urge that all of you do that. And yeah, so pretty much sum up my presentation. I just hope that you guys find this really helpful. I can't cover everything. I can go on for 1-2 hours. My team knows that, but I'm not going to do that. So thank you so much, Andrea, and thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you so much.
Here.
Thank you so much. My God, I've got like takeaways. I've got millions of them now. It's just fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing. I want everyone to stay in the rooms. I will know if anyone leaves. So we're going to have the Q&A coming up soon, but not quite yet. Now, I really find within the recruitment community, there isn't really much of a community. And so that's why I wanted to change it. Now, I know it might be a little bit scary, but I really want us to get into some breakout rooms and introduce yourselves and also discuss what your key takeaways were. We've had 2 phenomenal speakers spend their time, take up their revenue time to share their tips. And I really want us to make sure that we come away with something that is, a key takeaway that we can then put back into the workplace. So we're going to put you into completely random rooms. You're also going to have the opportunity for the keynotes to jump in as well. I might plop in and out, but I'll zip it so that I can just observe. But I want you to just say your name, and I want you to introduce yourself, and then I want you to say what your one key takeaway, just 5 minutes. Then we're going to bring you back, And then we're going to have a Q&A session where you can literally ask any question you like to Fiona and Pat. Well, not any question, but obviously recruitment related. So you can write down your question there. It can be on the topics that they've covered, or it can be something else, or you can take off your mute. So I am going to throw it out to you now, and over to the group to be doing the Q&A. Off you go. You've got 5 minutes. Oh, come on, guys. There's like 50 people in the room. I know you can all do a question, or you like my father that takes an hour to write a sentence. That may well be the case. So I'll be patient with you if that is the case.
Okay, that's one question.
Go for it, Pat.
What keeps
Thank
you going when the day is tough, when you just got a good flashing from a client? I love it. Okay, over to you, Fiona.
Oh, okay. So
I would love to.
I would actually like utilize that vision board idea. I guess next time when I have a tough day, I would definitely, look at my vision board and make sure that I follow that up. And yeah, it happens every day. So that's why I really look at these quotes that I have. So I constantly, look at biographies and famous people, their sayings just keep me going, because it's just something that you can't get away from. What about you?
I have to admit though, that's actually a very good question. When I was much younger at work, when I used to have a bad conversation, a horrible candidate just took a counter offer and stuff like that, I used to show my emotions out there at work. I used to be so angry, and the truth is, in the past, I will go down with a colleague and just bitch about it, and then come back and then decide what to do next. But that was in the past. I feel when I was much younger, I was a lot of rage in me, and I used to go on screaming and shouting, go on and talk to my colleagues and say what is everything I could, and then I'll go back to this. But right now, I find what is really working for me and is that, instead of reacting to your client or reacting to the candidate, do not react on the spot. Don't do that, because anything that come out would be out of emotions, out of reaction. Take a breather, go for a walk, or go and watch a short clip, or listen to some music. Just take a short break from it before you actually reply. And I think that actually works for me, because I come back and then I react differently, I suppose.
Yeah, I think that's a really good perspective on that. I'm going to throw out another question for Fiona. So what would you advise recruiters on how they navigate in the current market? For example, pre-COVID, were a top performer, but through COVID have seen challenges. Potentially their market has been impacted, is now recovering, but now they're also questioning their skills and confidence, how to move forward. So I'll throw it out to Fiona, and then if Pat's got anything to add after that, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure that last year and even now it would be, I think it's been tough, but I guess it's really about finding, the niche. Obviously some markets are better than the other. Some retails are struggling a bit more, obviously. But again, like if I have to give out an example, like when people say retail are suffering, but then you will see the retail e-commerce are booming, right? So it's really about being innovative and finding that niche, the opportunity, because every kind of down market will create an opportunity. So it's really about finding that and maybe focus on something that's new and keep that innovation, keep your mind going, be curious and see what's out there that maybe you can turn around a little bit.
I love that one. Thank you. Yeah. I love that. I'm not going to. Pat, can you answer this question so I'm getting through as many questions as possible? Okay. What are some of the top time management tips? Because I know in your presentation you were talking about that calendar and I know you're a bit of a diva on being able to manage your time. So how would you answer that one? What are some of the tips that have worked for you in terms of being able to juggle everything in your week that you're not there till kind of midnight?
The truth is categorize your calendar, but still giving a bit of room of wiggle as we go along. Because the truth is, on Monday, you may think that, oh, my Monday is busy, it's pretty empty, and I'll start with a search. And then God knows what happened, crisis happened, clients come to you and start, giving you some urgent task to actually complete. My take is always plan the BD sessions. That to me is a very, very important time and calendar management, which means regardless how busy are you with search, do take 2 to 4 hours a week just to do some BD. That to me has been something that I'm still trying sometimes to get people doing it, because the truth is we're all busy, right? We're all saying that we have a lot of searches, we want to get onto it, but try, because that will help you to get a flow, because we don't get too complacent with the current job list, and that's what I believe. And back to the lunch piece, Andrea, I want to talk about it, because my everyday lunch, it's out there meeting clients and candidates. It can be up to 3 weeks ahead. I have my lunch all booked up.
Right. And what happens if you can't see them face to face? Because obviously a lot of people, restaurants aren't open in Singapore. I know they're opening up, but how are you still building those relationships virtually?
Yeah, I recently did one with one of my clients. The truth is, it's a very, very good client. Again, because it's an existing client that I've known for a while. I actually told him that, why don't we let me order him something? Let's eat together, or you can grab your own lunch. Let's chit chat over that, and we did that, and it was quite funny. We were like, okay, let's chat. That is a bit awkward, but you know what? We'll get a hang of it, right? The truth is, it's the new norm. We have to learn the new norm. So that's what I did. I actually get them to still talk to me over Zoom call just to say, how are you? Yeah.
Love that. I love that. I'm going to do one last question before don't everyone knock off. I can see everyone. Don't forget, I know where you live. We're going to do a poll, so I want to get your feedback. So don't get your feedback, we can't improve, we can't make it even more of a rock star event. Yeah, so stay in there. There's a question for Pat. There's lots of questions coming in now. Pat, when it comes to transparency, let's say this is an existing client who's given you millions of business. Wow, nice one. Understand that the certain hiring manager is someone who's bad to work with 4 people leaving the role in the past 12 months, would you tell the candidates this? Oh, that's a great question. I love that. So basically, nightmare client, gives you loads of dosh, but are you going to be highly transparent and tell them the truth to the candidate? Oh, I love this. It's like a Jerry Springer show now. It's brilliant. Go for it, Pat.
The truth is I would. Yeah, but it's all about being transparent and delivering the message in style. Guys, it's not about, guess what, there are 4 people actually leaving the job. Are you sure you want? To me, I want to find out why the 4 people actually left in the last few months, which means having a very transparent conversation with your client, with the HR, without the client, because that gives you a different perspective. And then you tell the candidate, this is what it is. Because if you're not going to tell them, they may hear it from the market, because the market is small, industry is small. At some point, they're going to hear it from one or the other. So why don't you volunteer to be the one who's telling them, so that look, this is the situation, but this is the role. Go and listen with an open eyes, and then we can calibrate from there if this is a role worth pursuing. So I will always get my team. I always get the candidate to just go for an open chat.
Yeah, I love that. Fiona, is there anything that you would add to that before we start moving on to the next session?
I think clients and candidates hate surprises. And it will be very short term if you're just focusing on making the placement or lying to the candidate, covering it up to let them go in. It's always to be about, honesty. And like Patricia, there's always different types of way to deliver a message, right? Be tactful about it.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much. Everyone, I don't log off yet. I want to hear your opinion. It really counts to me as the founder of WIRA. I am going to hand over the reins to someone else to do, but we are just going to get your feedback with one question. Did you find the event useful for your career? So we should in a second be seeing a poll come up. So if everyone can just have a look. Oh, awesome. Oh, thank God no one put not useful at all. I'd be in tears this afternoon if I saw that. Okay, extremely useful. Okay, very useful, somewhat useful. Okay, so we got some work to do on the 4%, but I think that's progress. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, thank you very much. So I am just going to wind down now. I think we're, 10 minutes over. I think that's not bad for our first event. I want to thank our keynote speakers, Fiona and Patricia. You're awesome. I'm so proud that you're able to join me for the first ever event. You're absolute rock stars. And for everyone that turned up today, to actually be in a room with these two ladies that I'm inspired by, and I just think you're so lucky. We're really lucky that they are willing to share their ideas and their insights, and also just to be off the cuff, answering questions to everyone. So I want to just say thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Now, everyone, we've got lots of events going on in June. Please make sure you're looking at the WIRA newsletter that comes out every single month. It's on the LinkedIn closed group, so keep going on there. You might find that you haven't given me your email, or I don't know, so just make sure that if you're a company member, you're here today, make sure you're keeping aware of the events, and just registering, because we've got lots of stuff coming up in the next few weeks. So I want to say thank you, Fiona and Patricia. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
You're
joining.
welcome. Bye, everyone. See you
Thank
hopefully
you.
in the next event in a couple of weeks' time. Come to the WIRA drop-in. Don't let me be on my own.